is in the first film we had Raman Dekait, the Akshay Khanna character, who practically was on par with Ranveer in terms of like, and he had the more, the bigger visibility, optics rather, because Ranveer was intentionally in the background because he
Yeah.
was trying this kind of a thing. In this movie, we don't have that flamboyant a villain. Did you miss that?
No, no, not at all.
Okay.
See, if I'm seeing the story going, and okay, Akshay, the character of Rahman Dekait, obviously it's a kind of a play to the gallery in terms of what, like what a Gabbar Singh did in Sholay, in
Yeah.
spite of the presence of Amitabh Bachchan and Dharmendra, people talked more about Gabbar. I think it worked on that. But you can't say without Veeru and Jay also the film.
Yeah, yeah.
So in the context for me of that, I didn't miss him at all. Not because I knew that he was not there already, because he was killed in the first part. I never felt ऐसा नहीं कि अभी if that film has this, that is a typical industry thinking. उधर item song ये है तो इसमें item song कौन सा है? That kind of a what you call template imitation is not what anywhere it was followed.
Yeah.
See, after him after him beating the main villain, if you can call Major Iqbal that, and then him being beaten by some unknown guy.
Yeah.
Every time it is surprising. You know what I'm saying? So when I am seeing everything is holding me each and every moment, why will I miss anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like the.
And I one more genius I felt. See, Arjun Rampal for me, he was functional to a degree, and the film started. He's coming and going and all that. Now, post Aslam Chowdhury's death, I was concerned that suddenly to the shift of to make Arjun Rampal into the main villain, I thought that will be that will be a problem.
Okay.
I was just worried about that when watching the film. And brilliantly, with the father scene in the tub and holding his tongue, that one moment suddenly elevated Major Iqbal more than what Aslam Chaudhary represented before. Those kind of things are plenty. If you ask me to say one scene, two scene, I can keep on going. Yeah.
I love the assassination scene. The car with the Aslam, that was just so unexpected.
I'll tell you, the moment the explosion happened, what came into a flash in my mind? Bikku Matre's death.
Okay.
Bikku Matre is suddenly shot out of the blue. That kind of a moment, he put it on a 70mm IMAX. I'm talking about, that is what I'm calling scale.
Yeah.
In a room and they're talking and suddenly Bikku Matre getting shot by a bow, for me, on a huge scale, on a parallel, is Aslam Chaudhry's death.
Right.
Yeah. Which is the reason I'm so impressed. Yeah.
Yeah. So the other thing that impressed me really, and like you, I really like both the films very much, is like you say, the stay. For example, the stays on the emotional moments. Like for me, the part where he walks home, he wears his turban and walks home, and it's a very simple shot, reverse shot, reverse shot. He just goes on and on and on, and you're thinking, now they're going to turn, or now he's going to say ma or something like that. Because when something is stretched out, you expect a certain
Correct.
Payoff, so to speak. But then they go away, and he the gate is closed, and he turns, and that was more powerful and emotional to me than if they had shown him shed a tear, or him saying, or in a mind voice saying, नहीं इनको रहने दो, मुझे ये नहीं चाहिए, or something like that, or explaining later to Madhavan that, okay, now I have changed or something. There is no explanation. There is just the event happening, and the audience is left to understand the emotions. And what I liked about it is Aditya is saying the audience will understand. I don't have to explain. At this moment, they will understand exactly what is going through here. These guys have moved on in life. He wants to enter their life again, but he goes away. I don't need to explain anything. I don't need words at all. That conviction was also very
Yeah. Yeah.
kind
See,
of.
that is one of the most incredible things for me, actually. So the point is, that when you think of a story, and then when you start shooting, you're making a film, taking it shot by shot, you know, and you're distracted so much. Kuch lighting chal raha hai, kuch ye ho raha hai, assistant director will come and talk and all that. It's very difficult to sustain an emotion in the process of shooting. It can partly be there when you're reading the script or writing, maybe little in the editing and the final. So how would he determine that he's going on watching nothing happening, no payoff, like what you said, to sustain it for that long a time? What a director requires is an extraordinary sensitivity in terms of what he's dealing with. He's able to shut off everything
Yeah.
and to be able to live through what already Hamza, Jesse has lived through. You know, he's able to maintain it when he's shooting
Yeah.
and editing independent scenes.
Yeah.
That is not a mean feat.
What did you think of the action scene which shows Jaskirat taking revenge on the people that affected his family? What did you think of that, the way that was staged?
You see, I see the violence part, though I thought was I don't like to use the word over the top in terms of, but the fact that the kind of character Jesse's and the way Ranveer Singh showed his rage and all that, my personal sensibility, I don't believe in so much of gore
Okay.
in violence. But at the same time, I don't think Dhurandhar is the same film without that
Yeah.
level of gore.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
see, if you look at it when he pulls Major Iqbal on top of the kerosene thing, that I thought was in the context. Let me put it this way: if the intention is just to kill him, he could have done it. Otherwise, he doesn't need to go through all the trouble of pulling him up and all that. But then in the wide shot when he's walking away, that on a subtext, it is building something which is what actually the scale of the film is. You know, all the action, more or less, I think for me is the same.
Yeah. What is the subtext thing? I didn't get it.
No, I'm saying it is suddenly making him look larger than life because of the wide shot
Oh,
of
because
the
of
kerosene thing.
yeah, because the God's eye view.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
Without making him as a person look larger than life, he's making the events around make him look larger than life.
Right.
That's a very new way of doing it.
Right.
So in effect, what he's doing is what the pan-India filmmakers do
Yeah.
to make that. But
Yeah.
he's done it in a way which is so, whatever.